Remember when Target used to have its own pharmacies, but then like out of nowhere, they sold everything to CVS and like every pharmacist was happy about it? No, not at all. Pharmacists were not thrilled, and I think they burned every bridge with pharmacists. But why did this happen? Well, today we're going to be digging into the 4 reasons why Target sold out its pharmacy and why it's a big deal for pharmacists out there. All right, let's rewind back the time. It's in the early 1990s. Baby Alex is watching Sesame Street, loving it, not thinking about pharmacy at all. Grunge is all the rage, we're rocking that flannel, and Target decides to jump into the pharmacy game. Bold move, right? Well, here's the thing, it made sense at the time. Target was already the go-to spot for, well, pretty much everything, right? Whether you needed that red spot dog or some Tupperware or cheap clothes. Adding a pharmacy was like adding the cherry on top. And for a while, it actually worked. By 2014, Target Pharmacy had become a formidable player in the industry, generating around $4.2 billion in revenue that year alone. That's a lot of little red bottles. Actually, remember those unique little pills that Target used to have, folks? Remember that? Wasn't that cute? But here's where things get really interesting. In June 2015, Target dropped a bombshell. They were going to sell their pharmacy business to CVS Health for a cool $1.9 billion. So what went wrong? Well, it just wasn't one thing. It was the perfect storm of factors that turned Target's pharmacy dream into a corporate nightmare. Target was up against some heavy hitters in pharmacy. We're talking Walgreens, CVS, and even Walmart. It's like being in a boxing match where everyone else has like 2 extra arms, like Goro in Street Fighter. Yeah, CVS finished Target Pharmacy. I think it would be helpful to break down how Target was doing in comparison to everyone else. If you look at 2014 revenues for the major pharmacy chains, CVS was at $139 billion, Walgreens was at $76 billion, Rite Aid at $26 billion, and Target Pharmacy was at $4 billion, hardly doing what they could be doing. Now, it's a little bit unfair to do this because Target Pharmacy's revenue is only looking at pharmacy while the others are looking at the total revenue for the entire business. But if you compare Rite Aid to Target, in 2014, Rite Aid had about 4,500 pharmacies, making $26 billion. I know that business calculations are way more complicated, but if we dumb this down, for me anyway, if Target, which had 1,600 pharmacies, had the equivalent pharmacies of 4,500 pharmacies, it would have made around $12 billion. And of course, this is subtracting all the retail, and I know that'd be profitable. It'd be a little similar, but at the same time, yikes, Target is punching well below its weight class here. And the pharmacy sector becoming increasingly competitive, Target's leadership under CEO Brian Cornell decided to refocus retail strengths and divest from non-core operations, and that meant pharmacy. I can relate to this as a business owner. Sometimes I fool myself into thinking that I can get into something completely new, a different industry, but similar, and think that I can, kick butt and do a great job. I think over time, most businesses learn that if you get away from what you're great at, it's likely going to lose you money over time. Sometimes you just got to know when to fold and let Goro kick your butt. Now, another problem Target was having was about data, because in 2013, Target faced a major data breach that compromised like 40 million credit and debit card accounts. And this shook customers' trust. People who loved Target back then would love Target. And I hate scammers. Those princes of Nigeria have fooled me a time or two. And taking my credit card information, man, real rustles my jimmies. At this point in the game, Target's pharmacy is not a cash cow. Running a pharmacy is expensive because it's medicine, it's healthcare, it's paying pharmacists, it's a lot. In 2014, the Target Corporation only profited a net margin of 2.9% in totality. That's including pharmacy. Between inventory costs, staffing, regulatory compliance, those little bills add up to big expenses. Additionally, Target was just coming out of a rough patch because they had to shut down all of their Canadian operations, which resulted in $2.5 billion in losses. Remember, the pharmacy alone in that year had only made $4.2 billion and they lost 2.5. With the pharmacy division underperforming, it became obvious choice that cut cost had to happen. For CVS, this was a golden opportunity. They instantly gained 1,660, I think, new pharmacy locations without the hassle of building it from scratch and building a reputation. But now let's talk about the human side of this deal and what happened to pharmacists. Overnight, Target pharmacists found themselves working for CVS, and the transition wasn't just a change in uniform, it was a seismic shift in work culture. If you are a former Target pharmacist, how did you think the transition went for you? I mean, was pharmacy under better management under Target? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. When Target sold its pharmacy business to CVS in 2015, CVS offered the same roles to existing Target pharmacy employees, but now they had to work under CVS, which at the time and still to this day doesn't exactly have the strongest reputation as a good employer for pharmacists. So now they have to adapt to a new work system, new workflows, company policies. Some people said things like, well, they lost all their vacation time and their benefits. While they promised benefits would be retained, that isn't exactly how it all panned out. Before the sale, employee reviews from Glassdoor of Target Pharmacy were really positive experiences. We went to Glassdoor and we pared down only pharmacist reviews, and some had really nice things to say, like, I've never had such an amazing work family until now, and many employment perks and amazing opportunity to work in community pharmacy with a great company. But after that sale to CVS, reviews started rolling in from those Target employees and they were not happy. Here's what a few of them had to say. Corporate was more concerned about meeting various metrics than patient safety. Lack of training, wage below national average, decent for retail pharmacy, but doesn't live up to the work-life balance that they sell you in the recruitment process. These reviews highlight significant changes in job satisfaction. You know, I remember when this sale happened, and I remember CVS pharmacists being jealous of the CVS pharmacists in Target because many of these Target places never had things like a drive-through, which drives pharmacists crazy. While I only had to do that as an intern, I had to work at Burger King drive-thru, and let me tell you, you see some of the worst of human behaviors in drive-thru. So while some of these pharmacists adapted well, others found the transition very challenging. The shift often meant things like shift in changes of your work schedule and the staffing levels, meaning lower staff, less pharmacists, less technicians, and new performance metrics and quotas that they had to meet. So how did the sale work out? So obviously pharmacists kind of took the brunt of these changes and not really liking it very well. But how did Target shake out from this? Well, it's a little bit of a wild ride, because in the short term, things got worse. The year after the sale, Target's overall sales dipped almost 5%. Oh, that's a kick in the gonads. But here's the kicker. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. Boy, do I know that. If you fast forward to last year, Target is sitting pretty at $105 billion in sales. So what can we learn from Target's pharmacy misadventure? Look, employment is never guaranteed. People used to say things like pharmacies is a secure career, you can go anywhere and get a job. But here are some takeaways that I want you to really think about. Adaptability is key. The pharmacy world is constantly changing. You have to be ready to pivot. You need to have an updated resume, an updated LinkedIn, an updated portfolio so that at a moment's notice, if you've got some cool opportunity given to you by a friend, a referral, you need to consider it. Because whether you think maybe, hey, at least I'm not at CVS, or at least I'm not at Walgreens, or at least I'm not at that place, it's such a negative way of thinking about it. Pharmacy has so many cool opportunities. I mean, I know happy pharmacists. It's not like you have to stay in something that is mediocre or even like bad but tolerable. I think diversifying your skills is oh so critical. Verifying scripts is a job, but learning how to communicate well, learning how to educate patients, learning how to make impact for your company, for how to decrease costs or increase revenue, being a tech savvy wizard with AI, with busy, savvy professionals, man, you hold the future of your career in your hands. There is so much opportunity in healthcare. And yes, of course, we need to completely change healthcare. But it's the people who understand how to innovate and to work with companies to do so that will be people who are indispensable for the rest of their careers. So there you have it, folks. The rise and fall and Phoenix-like rebirth, I guess, of Target after it ditched its pharmacy business and burning every bridge to every pharmacist out there. It's a story of corporate strategy, market forces, and the human cost of big business decisions. And for those of you considering a career in pharmacy, let this be a lesson. It's true for almost every industry. Just because you think you have a great job or decent career security, you never know what can happen. And at a moment's notice, a business can decide to close its doors, to go bankrupt, and to heck, sell to its competition. The field is changing, but with change comes opportunity. Be ready to adapt, learn, and redefine what it means for you to be a pharmacist. And by the way, if you need assistance with job hunting or securing employment, or just honestly finding a pharmacy career that you actually want to do, check out our workshop. It'll be in the description below. It's called Offer in 6, and I work with a small group of pharmacists every week to help you understand what you need to do to stand out from your competition, learn what career paths are out there that actually fit your skills and desires, and to land a job offer in less than 6 months. If you found this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, and you'll definitely don't want to miss the next career video where we dive deeper into CVS. So until I see you in the next video, stay curious and take care.